You've written a show that's for a lot of people, but kids love, but there's nothing goo gaga about it.
No.
It's not cutesy.
It's not saccharine. And that's a huge amount to do with Dahl, a huge amount to do with Dennis Kelly, who wrote the script adaptation. And then my sensibilities also are not saccharine. I mean, the weird thing, yeah. I mean, the Royal Shakespeare Company commissioned to write this piece. Dennis, who had written dark, really gritty, violent, political and sociological plays, like really murder and racism and, you know, those addressing the sort of dark side of human nature, and he still writes like that. And a composer who was known at that time, I was known for quite vicious, satirical songs with very adult language and stuff. So they took this big risk, but I think it was calculated, you know, cleverly calculated, because it was instinctive that we avoided too much sugar.
You haven't had to censor yourself when you've written songs before. There's certain words you just can't use that you might have used in other songs in this musical.
Yeah.
Is that a good creative challenge, a tough one?
No, it's easier. There's a bit of mythology. I've been writing music for theatre long before I was a comedian, but the challenge of writing for family instead of writing satire for adults doesn't really exist, because there are certain subjects in the world that I think should be addressed with an uncompromised anger. You know, my comedy comes from things I think are wrong with the world. So if I can get laughter out of saying that is bollocks, and I can use language that slaps that home, but that language belongs to that material, and this language belongs to this material. It's just like if you're painting a nighttime scene, you don't get out all your yellows, you get out your deep purples and your blacks. You know, it's just it's sort of obvious that the palette is different, I guess.
Right, but a lot of the themes are the same, probably, right?
Well, that's the weird thing. Even though I'm writing a family musical, all the things I write about in my comedy about challenging anti-intellectualism and challenging the idea that loud opinions are the best opinions, and challenging bigotry and all those things I'm obsessed with, and science and you know, looking at the world through a sort of cosmic perspective rather than like, oh, I'm battling for my bit of turf. It's all in Matilda. You can't help it. The things that obsess you will always drift into your work, won't they?
So not using curse words is just a trivial thing. This is all runs much deeper.
Yeah, it's completely trivial. When I use strong language in my comedy, it's a choice, not a compulsion.